this room. That's what I be doing. No, I just used to y'all said
from London to the Bay. It's hammer, gold hammer, every hammer, dirty hammer. And the rest is on its way to festive.
10, 9, ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Take it to the stars. How many people you know can take it this far?
Hey, good evening. Happy Wednesday. We are LIV Live. Are we on? Yeah, you can see it.
junction is all right.
All right, happy Wednesday. We are excited to be here today because this is a different conversation for us. We talk money, we talk family, we talk wealth, we talk generational curses, we talk depression, we talk music. But today we are talking love and happiness. Something making me do wrong, just kidding. We are talking about love and relationships. We have a relationship coach, David Richardson, here with us, also the owner of the Dirty Food Truck, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So eat clean and you know how to talk to you. Listen. We ask everybody to ask your question. Everybody talks about the 90s R&B love that they want, but no one talks about the work it takes to maintain and establish it. I'm on a male-dominated post. I need ladies to chime in. I'm sorry. I'm on a masculine right now. And the energy is definitely controlled. Help.
It is not.
Help.
Look, she ain't gonna blink twice. She's not in danger.
I am definitely going to blink twice because I'm in danger. So we're going to let David introduce himself, and then he's going to talk and explain to us all our questions. If y'all want to match at 2 days for Christmas, you better listen up.
Oh, that's too funny, man. I don't do that. Let me see where I start. My first name is David, last name Richardson, like you said. I got some life coaching when I was like 29. I don't know how many years it is. You know, 42.
Oh, yeah. That ain't holding.
So in life, one of my favorite subjects was to engage in relationship coaching and helping people out with their relationships. I don't think I'm more of a traditional coach. What I mean by traditional, most coaches have, or most people think a man is supposed to have a certain role, or a female is supposed to have a certain role. What I like to say is like masculine energy has a role and feminine energy has a role.
Big daddy.
You know what I mean? Big daddy. Basically, this concept called love and doers. What I recognize is that people are left brain dominant are more masculine in their approach, and people who are right brain dominant are more feminine in their approach. And a woman can be left brain dominant, and a man can be right brain dominant. So then that kind of screws up the whole traditional values of relationships, saying a man's only supposed to have XYZ role, and a woman should have XYZ role. And that's where a lot of conflict comes in, and that's why a lot of communication is broken down. So my thing is, if I know my significant other's personality type,
right, then I can communicate with her effectively.
So when you say personality type, I always read this stuff about what's her love language.
Hold on,
Are you?
It ain't zodiac signs now. We talk about.
Bro, I
No, some people out there think he's a Capricorn, I'm a Sagittarius. Why aren't we working?
No. Love language. You know, words of affirmation,
I know.
touching all that. Do you?
Touching, feeling.
So, me all the way with my question. You said personality type. Does it correlate with the love language, or you think that's two separate things?
No. Actually, I don't know if anybody's into like universal laws or anything like that, but everything connects. So I know you mentioned zodiac signs, right? Zodiac signs do connect to love languages, and love languages do connect.
So you believe in astrology?
To a certain degree.
Okay.
You know what I mean? When I say a certain degree is understanding that everything in this world is masculine and feminine energy, right? And when you talk about astrology, you got some astrology, zodiac signs that are quote unquote masculine, and some zodiac signs that are quote unquote feminine. But that just goes back to left brain, right brain.
Now, you know you can't mention astrology and drop knowledge like that. What they say about Leos? I mean, no, he's the doctor. The doctor got to be right.
We're not talking about married.
No, he said astrology. I'm messing with you, bro.
Nah, you good.
Okay, so with that, what do you think the most common thing that seems to be the flaw in most relationships between is besides communication? I want to make it a little hard for you. Besides communication.
Besides communication?
Yeah.
I think everything is communication. I think sex is communication. I think money is communication. All things are energy and how we communicate with that energy. So that's why a lot of people go to, we don't understand each other, or we not communicating well with each other. The misunderstanding is the conflict of two different personalities.
Okay.
I even take you a little bit deeper, and I don't want to go too deep.
Nah, go down that rabbit hole.
No, go deep. We realize you got a book coming out or something because you got a movie or something. Go ahead, do your thing.
Typically, when two individuals get together, right? You know, we call it like in coaching the law of mirrors. So, in other words, the things I'm experiencing on the inside manifested in this person on the outside I'm actually dealing with.
Wow.
That means all my strengths and all my fears is actually embedded in my partner. I give you an example.
Oh, shit.
Run the beat back. Your strength and your fears are embedded in your partner.
And your partner. Let me
Choose
make it clear.
wisely.
So I know what's popular right now on the internet is like, there's a narcissist, right? But typically a narcissist has a people pleaser. You know what I'm saying? That attached to somebody wants to please all their needs. But at the core, both of them individuals are narcissists because they have self-worth issues. So they have to be in control by trying to control all the elements around them through logic, through physics, through tangible things, through money. Where on the opposite side, the people pleaser tries to control everything through emotions because both of them are dealing with self-worth issues. So the mirror is the self-worth. Both of them are dealing with self-worth issues. The narcissist is in an extreme masculine mode, and the people pleaser is an extreme feminine role.
So you're saying there got to be a balance of yin and yang, almost like.
Gotta be a balance of yin and yang.
So you said anybody who has narcissistic behavior must get what that person is dealing with, emotional behavior. Basically, what you're saying.
Well, typically, it's going to happen by natural attraction. You know, most people say, quote unquote, a narcissist preys on people and go look for them. No, a narcissist is going to do things that's going to be attractive to a person that's a people pleaser.
Stay on that with that laws of attraction, because you said something before that was very interesting about attracting, the laws of attraction, that you attract what's inside of you.
That's right.
Elaborate.
So, which angle do you want me to elaborate?
Left and right.
All angles. Elaborate. If what's in you is what you attract.
What is in you is what you attract. Jesus said, me and the Father are one. Father's on the inside, right? So if you have a good relationship, whatever spiritual system that you believe in, whatever's on the inside of you and what you experience is what happens on the outside of you. You know what I mean? I keep it simple. Let's talk about like a man and a woman in a relationship, right? If a man says, you know, he has his honeydew list, and typically women give us our honeydew list, right? Right. And then sometimes he does it quickly, and then sometimes like, man, fuck that shit. I get to it when I get to it, right? But he don't want to be reminded by her
that he ain't got to it.
So he'll wake up one morning and say, you know what? I was supposed to clean the garage today. I'm going to get up and clean the garage. But before he gets a chance to clean the garage, she reminds him, right? So he's thinking that she's reminding him because it's coming from her. Really, he reminded himself, and the universe used her as a physical, tangible reminder was already on the inside of him. He said it to himself first before she said it.
So how that sounds parallel
so
with
both
ego,
y'all
right?
can't now both y'all can't speak.
No, so that sounds parallel with ego, right? That's like
It's like
ego.
You can look at it as a male ego, but typically whatever happens in your mind is going to happen on the outside. Well, let me say it like this.
So a nagging woman is coming from a man who nags himself internally?
Yes.
Hold up, what?
Yes.
So
hold on,
bro, hold on. So you saying if I'm dating a woman and she nagging me, that was me nagging myself first.
That was you criticizing yourself internally, telling you all the things that you need to get done, but you have been
Bro,
procrastinating.
when you get this,
Hold
hold on. Well, I got a question.
I can follow that though.
Where do you
I
get
can follow
this therapist certification from? Bro, you don't go against. That's like what you you doing, Steve?
No. Remember I told y'all before we started, I was going to be neutral. There's some things I would say that females be like, I don't know if I like that. I don't want to be a part of that, right? And men will be like, yeah, hell yeah, keep saying that. It's the opposite. But that's just reality.
I thought that was like a political.
Nah. But he ain't wrong on that though, her, because you know you are your worst critic, your biggest critic.
Yeah, of course.
So you always get on yourself first before anybody else get to you first.
Internal thoughts.
And the fact that he said a woman, you never used a woman to say it, just kind of pissed me off.
Can I make it even more real for you?
Please.
All right, so let's take it from relationship to weight loss, right? You ever notice the way people's body is located at different locations?
Hold on, say that one more time.
You ever notice that weight in people's body is located at different locations?
Yes.
Right. So sometimes you got people who are skinny, but then they gain weight all over. Right. And then you got some guys who walk around with a pot belly. Right. And then you got some people, all the weight is right here in the midsection, but they lose weight. They got thin arms, thin legs. You know what I'm saying? They got flat backs. Right. And then you got the women with the hourglass body with the hips. Right.
No, it's BBL.
Wait a minute. I ain't never had a lick of surgery.
Now it is BBL. But the natural ones who have that body.
Shouts out to the naturals.
So what I'm saying is that the weight is controlled by the glands inside the body, on the inside. So for example, I'll give you the thyroid type. Thyroid, they start off skinny, they gain weight all over. Their emotional issues is either living in their truth or telling a lie. Telling a lie is I'm living somebody else's life. I people please so much that I've lost my identity of myself.
And that's people who gain weight everywhere.
So now, in this extreme people pleasing this, you may see her do things like, or he may do things like their favorite foods are carbs and starches. They give away sweets, they want sweets in return. When the sweets don't come back in return, they eat it.
Oh.
Okay.
So what's on the inside of you is going to express itself on the outside. It's going to express itself in your money. It's going to express itself in your weight. It's going to express itself in your relationship. Everybody think it's a secret, but God leaves a fingerprint. And once you learn how to read those patterns,
no, listen to you. I'm with you. Don't you know if you take and flip yourself inside out, God, you'll fall out and die.
Come on now.
that's from Ghostface. It was funny because what you're saying from what we heard 2 years ago.
Right.
It's right in front of us today. That's
Ghost been saying it.
But think about it.
Say.
You know, Wu-Tang had all of us going around calling each other saying, peace, God. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? But now, you know, when you kind of get into it, and I don't want to go too deep off what they call metaphysics. But
Stop saying that. We want you to go deep.
You want conversations that suit somebody's household.
We want to have this conversation. Like, I need to know what happened with hippie people and what we like to eat and drink and do.
And what happened with Leos.
We ain't talking about Leos.
So you saying I can't blame his belly on his yak? It's something else.
It's something you eat, bro. It's something you eat, bro. But
I can't blame it on his yak.
So the yak is the physical manifestation, right? So when you drink the yak, right, and when you get the belly, the attachment, the yak is yes, it's gonna cause the belly, but the emotions what drove you to the yak.
Oh wow.
So let me ask you this, okay? And this, I'm being funny here,
That
but I'm
one
being serious.
scandalous chick back in the day.
I'm being funny, but I'm being serious. You say the emotions drove you to the yak.
The emotions.
We don't have any male R&B groups. Nobody's able to release this being sensitive. A lot of guys just drinking Hennessy and things and just tap a girl. So these guys that shaped like Eat the Cat. Are you saying they got too much yak because they ain't shaped like Eat the Cat?
You know what I'm saying? It could be yak. You know what I'm saying? It could be deep fried foods. You know what I mean? It could be smoking too much.
I asked for you, homie.
Put that emotional glass down.
He started crying and started drinking. Yeah, now you say like Eat the Cat. Right. Why must buy be like that? Bars. No, that's cool though, man. A lot of people don't understand like weight gain, relationships, and how much that twists into your mental, and how much does the mental cross over to the emotions? Because a lot of us act off impulse or what's in our heart, but not with our heads.
So, all is mental, right?
He did it last time. No, he did it last time with the how much is with communication. Right. Listen, don't sell the chapters in your book.
Sell the chapters in your book.
Tell us what the hell we want to know.
So
let them go deep.
So, like, when I say all is mental, you heard me talk about the body types, right? So the mental is connected to the emotions. The word emotion is energy in motion.
Right.
So where does the energy come from? Where does the energy start? The energy starts in the mind first. The conduit is in the heart, the feelings. And then with those feelings, you take action. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So now we talk about the body types. We talk about hormones, which is emotions. You know what I mean? They be like, oh, she's so hormonal. Well, everybody's hormonal. Everybody has hormones. Well, these hormones are driven by the glands inside the body. And they have different locations. But, each gland is aligned with a certain lesson or a certain action. Think it, see it, speak it, feel it, will it, do it, then it's created. 7 steps to build a habit.
Run them 7 steps by us one more time.
Say good goddamn.
Yeah, sure.
Think it.
Speak it. No, think it, see it.
Think it, see it.
Right.
Okay.
Speak it.
Speak it.
Feel it.
Feel it.
Will it.
Will it.
Do it.
Do it.
Then it's created.
And it's created.
Then it's created.
And all things go in this process. And even to take it even further, that process is who, what, why, how. Who being the you or the person that's triggering you, what being the thought, why being the feeling, how being the action.
So how much are your sessions, brother? I'm just saying, after this episode, you'll get a few phone calls.
And get in line.
You get more money if you talk for the brothers.
But it's a life lesson because talking to you, you will open up, even preparing for today, you will open up someone's mind to think differently. So vulnerable moment. And I'm very candid about vulnerable moments. I'm not ashamed of nothing I live or do. We were talking about this show and you talked about relationships that molded people into who they are when they get older, different levels of relationships in different seasons.
That's right.
And you mentioned 3 types of relationships. And in that conversation, we dug up some stuff that I didn't even know I had to dig into. But go list those 3 relationship seasons.
So it's really all about subconscious programming, right? And there's kind of like 4 levels to it. In which sometimes some people have famous quotes. And you may not like it or not, so I won't actually say the person who quoted, but it would say, if you're giving the child the age 1 through 7, I will control them for the rest of their life, right? Because the ages 1 through 7, you have what's called subconscious incompetence. Mm-hmm. The subconscious is like, we talk about a computer, the subconscious, all the programs running the computer. Consciousness is the programs I'm actually dealing with, right? So you're going to program a person the ages 1 through 7. So that's why a lot of times when people have trauma issues, it's connected back to their early childhood, right? Through that subconscious programming. Then from 7 to 14, what happens is now you shift into what they call conscious incompetence. I'm conscious and aware that I can make my own decisions, but I'm still not smart enough because I don't have all the,
all the resources, yeah.
So now,
skills.
That's why a lot of kids, when they start getting to those teenagers, they start rebelling. Because it's like I'm going to step away just from a relationship with my friends. Now I'm talking about my family, and now it's about my friends and my family and me expressing independence. All right, so then you have 14 through 21, which they call conscious competence. I have the resources, all the resources available. I can make conscious decisions to tap into those resources, right? But then the final stage, happens after the age 21 when they call it subconscious competence. And that's when the habit is installed, it's there. You can change it, but it becomes difficult to change.
That's when you set in your ways.
Because you set in your ways and you don't even realize why you set in your ways and why you talk the way you talk or why you behave the way you behave. But the whole time you've been programmed your whole life.
My guy Charles says, so at what age does females, although he know they catch on quicker, what age do they prone to become crazy?
That's not here.
Charles from Kansas.
That's not Charles from Kansas. That's Herc from Columbia. I'm sorry. What age we become crazy?
Anybody can become crazy. Charles from Kansas. Getting back into relationships, right? Let's say, you have either abusive household. An abusive household can come from 2 parents, right? Or you can have, an absent household where there's only, 1 parent there. There's masculine energy. The job for masculine energy is to protect and provide. Whoever is giving that masculine energy, that is its job. And feminine energy is to provide support and to nurture, right? Whenever a person is missing those elements, President, vice president. I could take that. You know what I mean?
Okay, got you.
Okay, because the conscious is the leader,
Right.
and the subconscious is gonna follow.
Because there's only one presidential suite.
Right.
CEO.
And then nobody said what's gender, but more than likely the male.
No, it should be
The masculine.
It's a balance. The male, right?
Somebody asked you to go over there and growl over him like no damn gator.
No, all jokes. It got to be a balance of 50-50 because everybody got to know their role. All jokes. I'm just joking.
But see, here's the thing though. Masculine energy only adds and subtracts. Feminine energy multiplies and divides.
And divide. So you gonna divide.
Explain this.
Whoa. The division is good.
No, he got to explain this because it's a lot of brothers out there lost. Tell me, brother.
So masculine energy with the add and subtract is because I'm going to think logically through the process. So thinking logically through the process, I'm going to put one foot in front of the other. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
So that is just either I'm going to take the shortcut, I'm going to go the long way, but either way, it's going to be one step in front of the other, right? Now, as I'm taking these steps, let's say I'm building my household, I purchased a home, I built a home. All right, a woman's presence can come in there, right? And she can turn this house into a home, make it warm and filling, and she can multiply it, right? Or she can cause division with her attitude.
So it's just like basically a chessboard.
It is a chessboard.
It's a chessboard.
The king and the queen.
The king and the queen. The queen is the baddest on the table.
The queen is the baddest on the table because she can move all over the place, but at the end of the
she
day,
can multiply.
And she can multiply, but the king's job is still to protect the queen. And the queen's job is to make sure the king can multiply the kingdom.
So let's take this into relationships. You're basically saying, as a man, you're supposed to be in the forefront. A woman would be submissive and follow.
If she
and support. If she believe in the vision and the idea of his leadership.
Okay, so now we get into visions. Yes, I tell all men you need to have a vision and direction before you in a program. Before you get with any woman.
You have to have a plan.
No plan. Get lost and get lost and unorganized, right?
Yeah, no plan because that's chaotic energy.
Speak on. Nah, that's dope.
Yeah, no, I'm with that one time. No, I'm with that one time.
The women, what he's saying is the woman is willing to follow.
You got to make a plan. You got to work
the plan. Even if you got a piece of notebook paper written in crayon, you say you're going to the store.
Listen,
she'll follow because it's a plan.
It's a plan.
But if you have no plan, you have no woman.
No woman. She's gonna eventually leave.
She's gonna eventually leave.
Or
she's gonna get attracted to somebody who has a plan.
Or she's gonna turn extremely masculine.
Cause she's gonna start making the plan herself.
See, that's
where you gotta go in my house.
That's what we don't need.
It can't be too easy.
Guys not understanding their role here.
No, for real. Like if you're a guy or quote unquote masculine energy, you have to have a plan. Now, and having a plan, you may say my steps or my goals is 1 through 10. Some women only want you at step 10.
Word.
And then some women who your ride or die is gonna say, I see your plan, I'm willing to deal with you at step 1.
Word.
Right?
Word.
And then some are gonna come in and be like, okay, at step 5. What I tell guys is have the plan before you have the woman.
The plan help get the woman though.
Have a plan.
Because once you start working the plan, and not to sound too religious here, but Matthew 6 says, seek ye the kingdom of heaven, or seek ye the kingdom of righteousness, all things should be added. The seeking part is the masculine part. There's the actual steps of doing. The all things should be added, that is the feminine attraction.
Word.
So that means that if I need to attract a business partner, I'm going to track it. If I need to attract a secretary, I'm going to track it. I need to attract a woman that's going to believe in my plan, I'm going to track it. But you got to have a plan first.
I concur. So where the physicality?
I'm just saying. Kirk want to do kicking with Daz. Put him with Chris. Now look at us. Now look at us.
Didn't I tell you all that? I told you so. That was gonna get.
Like physicality, what people see in the physical, as far as a nice shape, nice or materialism. When did that, like, you think trumped all of that for somebody who's looking for
when your relationship became off of posting, not what you did.
Yeah, your relationship came off morals more so. Like you knew what you had to do, you knew what you were good at, and you were looking for that partner who's compatible for you. Now it's like this person has this person goes there, this person is this person is that.
So I think
did you sneeze?
I did.
Say bless you. She sneezed. Say bless you. Go ahead. No, not you, bro. It's like a crowd out there.
All right, but now, so y'all really going deep today.
We are. We're gonna go deeper.
We want you to go deep. Like we don't know
conversation that suits, brother.
I looked up 12 questions. I'm gonna get all them 12.
Did you check his cliff notes? Because he gave us a lot.
Carl from Cleveland.
That's no Carl from Cleveland.
It was Kansas.
Things changed around the 1960s.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Around the 1960s with the welfare program and Planned Parenthood.
So taking fathers out the household.
Taking fathers out of the household.
Was to stop property development.
Mm-hmm. So what happened was the woman began to date the government, no different than a single woman who gets the job.
Say that again. The women begin to date who?
The government.
That's that welfare. That's that child support.
Well, you can't tell the baby daddy or the fathers in the household because we can cut you off
We'll cut you off.
So y'all will help you without him.
As long as he's not
so
there.
What happened is the government became the masculine energy, or no different than, let's say you got a middle class woman with a high paying job that's anywhere between 60, 80, 90, 100,000. And now she's dating a job. She would take direction from her boss, but she can't take direction from her man when she come home.
Shit.
Is it the man from the lower class?
Don't take no.
What if that man's
No, I'm talking about.
What if that man has a
plan
plan and he's making $120,000 a year?
Okay.
She becomes like this. My thing is, I think it was like that song. I'm the '90s girl. That was they were being profound on exactly what was going on. Black women were doing good, and we were getting these executive jobs, which was good. But at the same time, like, I think it's a trick because it takes out the communication within the household of the 50-50 effect. Some women coming home and some men are thinking they can't come home because they're not the breadwinners.
That's true. All right, so that goes back into, taking a man out of the household. So you had some women who went the welfare route, and they had some women be like, you know what, I'm going to go out here, I'm going to get a career, and I'm going to marry my career, right?
They outsource themselves, basically.
And so in that, you know what I'm saying, now you say, well, I have the money, I reached all the goals I want, right? She's securing all the physical things that she have, or quote unquote, most people say she's in her masculine energy form, but when she goes out to the world and says, hey, you know what, I want to form a power couple, there's no high value man that wants to be a part of the power couple. He is the power.
So that's when the clash comes.
That's when the clash comes. So now she has to say to herself, do I deal with men, quote unquote, who they label high value men who are 6-figure earners, right? And I'm going to always have conflict, or do I deal with a man who makes lower income with me, right? And then if her pride won't let her deal with a man makes lower income with me, eventually she's going to turn into a sugar mama.
And that's when Earl come in, and Earl just want Hennessy. He come from the club 3 o'clock. But
No,
he got the honey pack.
Earl
got the honey pack.
Let me tell you about what happened to
She
Earl.
don't even need you for the light bill, Earl.
When she came in and became a
She
sugar
calls you at
mama,
1 o'clock for a
when he
reason.
came in and and she was a sugar mama,
That's right.
what happens to him?
Well, it depends. So from
mental.
the guy, you know what I'm saying, how did he get her? He got her through not his money, but his internal confidence. You know, so she was attracted by the confidence that he had and the looks that he had, you know what I'm saying, the swag that he had, per se. So now she's attracted to him. She only wants a little time, not all the time, because she got to work. She got a big schedule.
She got to make that money to keep him on sugar.
So she just plugging them in.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, but sugar ain't free. Because the day that y'all become a couple, now sugar wants you to be the big daddy, but you used to being the baby, and it's an issue.
That's right.
There's a vulnerable moment. So 3 things that came through comment-wise I want to go through and touch. One,
Stacey Humphrey.
Stacey said, she's not from Alaska. She said men need to match the same energy and spirit and goals. No, because based off the conversation that we just had in here, it's a compliment type situation, not a match. You don't want to match him. I don't want to be you, but I want us to complement each other. It's kind of like we both, if you're doing like the peace sign, like you have on your arm, you're one thing and I'm another. Together we're a beautiful picture, but I don't want to be you. But it is something that if you have been in a masculine for too long, you will.
But I will also say this: there's power in submission.
There is power in submission. There's control in submission.
There's a lot of power in submission.
Oh, you didn't know that was control and submission?
I knew that when you said that live.
You know what I'm
there
saying?
is control and submission.
So I'm gonna use a daddy-daughter scenario, and then I use a grown woman scenario, right?
Appreciate you.
So a daughter can get anything she wants from her dad.
No.
Yes.
Wow.
Because that's daddy's girl.
That's daddy's girl, right? She knows how to talk to him, right? She don't come talk to him aggressively.
But she lose all contact on how to talk to him when she's supposed to call him daddy. When she's 30 years old, she's supposed to still call him daddy. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
She's gonna use that sweet, innocent voice. She's gonna stroke his ego. You know what I'm saying? All those type of things.
She's getting trained, molded
to be able to get the things out of him. You know what I mean? So typically submissive women knows how to be the things that you need when you need it. So now you get so charged up by the submissive woman.
She can have whatever she wants.
She can have whatever the fuck she wants.
You can have whatever you
whatever you like. You know
but it's a thing that women don't understand. So it took me a long time to
doesn't mean
understand.
you're not going to possibly cheat. That's a whole nother.
No, we're not saying that. She's going to have her way.
But she can still get what she wants.
I mean, she got an advantage too.
Yes.
And see, that's the part that's the hardest thing to accept is that many of us as women always say we need to match a man. Reality is, I can't match you. You give me a seed, I make a baby. We can't match. Both of us can't be pregnant together.
Word.
That's reality.
I mean, that's
bars.
So it's a lot of things that
if he gave you the seed,
you wrote that? Real rap Ross.
She got it from a Hallmark card. She got it from a Hallmark
but
card.
it's a reality because there's roles. There's things that you can do that he can't. You're never gonna match. Now you can own your lane, but you can't match, and that's a hard lesson for many of us to understand. We can't match.
But you know, I
say it again.
That seed comment.
You're shining. God is using you tonight. God is you. You can't match. You can't match.
Like you said, her dad is God speaking through you.
The seed, right? And I don't want to ruffle anybody's feathers.
Please do. No, by all means, ruffle feathers. We don't lie. They can't get you here.
But he gave you the seed.
That's it.
Right? And then you know what I'm saying, birthed the seed. So who does the seed belong to if it was his seed? If you plant a flower on the ground tomorrow, is it your flower or the earth flower?
It's the earth. You just hold a maintenance to it.
Just hold a maintenance to it. So typically, most people say, if I plant this flower, that's my flower. I cut it if I want to cut it. I grow it if I want.
But that ground is what grew it and made it turn into the forest.
So whose seed is it?
We own it because you brought it in, but I took care of it. But
God owns it, man. God owns. We just got.
It's a reality.
Gotta leave it there.
I don't know.
It's
where
a deep
that,
question.
Growing up,
that fucked me up. I ain't gonna lie. That's a deep question.
That's good.
That fucked me all the way up.
because
my kids know. I tell them all the time, and this is a running joke in my family. I'm like, you came from my nutsack, right? That's
right.
What you got here.
And I tell my kids, I got the cut. You came out this, never mind.
That's it. That's all you got here.
I developed them lungs. Now I don't care what your daddy did, but I do care what your daddy did because I wouldn't have been a mom if I wouldn't have your daddy. So there's a balance of understanding.
There's a balance, and feminine energy has power. I don't want to. Masculine energy has power because masculine energy is the programmer. The feminine energy is the genie. She grants the wishes based on how you treat her.
Ooh.
Period. She's either gonna multiply you or divide you.
So happy wife, happy life.
No. I did not say that. I said feminine energy because you can't.
Well, how you corrected
I
that
mean,
shit real quick.
I just asked him.
No.
A guy can't produce a feminine energy. You right?
Yes,
No.
a guy can produce.
No, Bruce Jenner. He can't.
I'm gonna say, have you been to Atlanta?
Okay, then. No. So now I want to level set for a second. When I speak in the terms of feminine energy and masculine energy, I'm not talking in the terms of man and women.
So gender bias.
I am not talking about gender. I am talking about behavior.
So what is the so let's
Because
go there.
once again, everybody has a left brain and a right brain. That is
There are men. There are
true.
100% strong men with feminine energy.
No, what I mean by that, feminine energy is creative.
What? See?
There are some guys that are extremely creative. Most of the people in the music industry would be considered creative geniuses, but that's because they're tapping into their feminine energy. Because feminine energy is creation.
Dreamer.
By definition.
I don't agree with that. I'm a dreamer.
I'm just hold on. So you telling me Nas and Hove and that's all feminine?
Feminine.
I just don't.
Hold up. I'm
Feminine energy don't
So you're
mean
just
you're
saying
female.
feminine? No. Well, he's basically saying that. He said all creativity, cleanliness, and keeping things in the structure belong to a woman.
No. Structure is masculine.
How is creativity and structure?
They're not the same.
I know, but I understand that. I want you to differentiate because structure is something that's set to build. Creativity is something that's set to mold, right?
So structure is order. There's order in which things are created. And that's why the masculine energy charges. Masculine energy brings order. That's why a man has to have a plan.
49, you're stuck in your ways. You're not different. You're stubborn.
It's facts. I mean, we can slice it.
No, facts of what you said or what she said. Don't agree with her.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying about.
Okay, you're on the male side. Like, you represent, that's a point for us.
First of all, he's neutral.
I'm neutral.
No, he's not. He's a man.
Watch
now, in my home, you know, I am I'm the last word.
Alpha male.
I'm the first and the last.
Remember that, bro. Go ahead.
But you had a good conversation one day because we talked about, so one of the comments that came in and said, we're not crazy. Y'all make us crazy. Going back, let me go back to that. Not necessarily that they make you crazy. Here's why.
Triggered.
It's triggered.
So I can do this. It was already there.
But it's not so much as that part there. A lot of when I brought up the relationships and the different age brackets and what things happen to you, again, I don't mind being vulnerable and using myself as an example. We had that conversation.
All right.
And in that conversation, the thing was, what was it that made me have an issue with broken promises? And I went back to before I ever had any romantic relationships.
That's right.
I said it came from my mother. I said for my sister and I, my mother was not there. My grandmother raised us, and I didn't know my dad. So when we were around people, my uncle would remind us, we were my mom's children. My grandmother will remind us, you know, I'm your grandma, I'm not your mama. So all these people are stepping in the parent role, but we are always identifying them as the parent, and they're reminding us constantly we weren't the parent. So our identity crisis growing up was we didn't belong to anybody. Stop. Now I get into relationships.
Right.
And in relationships, I'm looking for quality time.
That's right.
We've discussed that. And I'm looking for security.
That's the behaviors of the personality type.
But it wasn't a situation where a man made me crazy. It was not a situation where I was crazy. It was a situation where what I was sent in the world with, I had to figure out, but I didn't acknowledge that it didn't come from somebody I dated. It came, now it might've been amplified by who I dated, but it came from home. Many of us don't realize that the stuff that was trained into us when we were little manifests in the relationships we're in later. So you blame the man, you blame the relationship, but if you don't understand you're not going to understand who you're with and what you're doing. So a lot of times the person don't make you crazy. You got to deal.
They triggered you.
They triggered you.
It's the trigger. So what I mean, so that's going back to everything's on the inside, right? So if you were in a relationship, and we're going to use what you talked about, right? Broken promises. So broken promises makes me feel insecure, or it makes me feel abandoned. So then if I am dating an individual and I want them to make a commitment, but they don't want to make a commitment to me, like, oh, he made a broken promise to me. Is it him, or is that the lesson that you have to get over to heal? What did the lesson manifest from was from childhood. So then what I would do is I start asking questions like, okay, tell me about a time in your past when somebody else did a broken promise to you. And eventually I'm going to travel you back to
where that started.
To the source.
To the source.
One of the viewers said she's been married for 42 years, raised up with my grandfather's taking care of the household for 8 or more kids. Fathers today have a hard time taking care of a wife and 2 or 3 kids. The wife has to work to make sure ends meet. So, and she said, y'all don't make me come down there. She's saying that women are having to, because of survival purposes, step into masculine roles. But we talked about that as well.
Inflation. Now, I know that's a hot word right now, you know, but back in the day, you can get a loaf of bread for 40 cents. And on top of that, when Granddad was working, he worked long hours. He worked 10, 12, sometimes 14-hour shifts to be able to take care of the 8 kids. But Grandma was home making sure the house was in order. She wasn't working, right? So he had enough income to be able to take care of those things. But now you look at 2 things. We talked about the separation of the home, taking the man out of the home, right? Which means that now a lot of women are going to lose respect for their man naturally. And then the second thing is inflation that happened because costs continue to drive up. So now you got costs driving up, and you got women in the workplace who don't want to go back home. So you got women in the workplace, I want to work, I'm not going back home. You're not sending me back there. Because a lot of times people are like, oh, you work from home, what a great, nah, a lot of people be bored at home.
Word.
Looking at those same 4 walls all the time, doing the same thing.
I love working from home, Blue Cross. I love it.
Shut up. I can't wait to work from home. But
You said women started using and going out getting work themselves, and that made a disconnect because they didn't want to deal with the men.
They don't want to, because now I got the freedom to make my own decisions.
now there's a lot that goes into that. Wait a minute, because what he's telling you right now is that logically, from his standpoint, if you are a provider and protector don't mean you stand at the house with a gun and can't nobody rob us.
No.
Protector means you protect her feelings. Protector means you protect that woman at all costs. In a certain time frame that we're thinking about how old school stuff used to be, let's be realistic. Black families were in survival mode. I need you and you need me because I can't make the money you make, but we got all these kids and we got to handle it.
Let the expert decide that, Chris.
But it's a reality. A lot of people who we watch grow up, they weren't together, but they were together for survival purposes.
He went to Millis Tech, Chris. You don't know.
Shut up. I hate her.
Ain't that wrong, MTU?
You know, I got the associates at the house.
No, that's a
But it's a reality.
Ain't that
Well,
wrong?
We like to compare ourselves.
No, that's the mindset that they had you in thinking that. But the whole thing's like today it shows you that when he said inflation, like the price of chicken is going up, but the wages stay the same. So my whole thing is like it takes two.
It
So
takes two
we
now.
have to communicate.
But back then, these people weren't together for
Well, you
for
talk
what?
about,
we got right now.
but in that survival mode, the difference between that, so we talk about programming, and y'all be going to different angles, but I like it. We talk about programming, right? So what is one of the main programs that gave women, you know what I'm saying, during this time of separation? The strong, independent Black women.
Right.
But you also notice that in no other culture, strong, independent Asian don't exist. Strong, independent white women don't exist. Only in our culture it exists.
I never paid
But
attention.
and I'll say this too.
I
A
really
lot of
never
people
paid
think
attention.
that calling a Black woman a strong Black woman is a compliment. If you really have been a strong Black woman, we all can tell you it's a way to say you did good during your struggle. That's not a compliment.
Now, going back to survival mode, back then
I don't
survival
think it's
mode was we got to operate as a team in order to conquer this.
Stacey will talk.
Now we talk about survival mode. Most people want to operate
'Cause this-
independently.
As an individual.
And that's just not a woman and man thing. You know, we talk about our culture. Now, I'm once again, I'm making a difference because the energies don't have a cultural bias. But in our culture, you know what I'm saying, as a unit, a lot of us don't like working together. A lot of us want to be, quote unquote, the man. that
Be the
gets
boss.
shine, be the
That's
boss,
not true.
or the boss chick. Everybody wants to be the leader, right? But nobody wants to be the teammate or part of the team.
All
See, that was my
Chiefs
question
All
earlier.
Chiefs,
I
no
asked you about
Indians.
like how has that changed in our society, our culture, that women who are making more money than the guy that they're pursuing,
Well, I mean,
they don't feel as if though their words are valid because it's about a materialistic thing. It's about a fix.
Because if I got to be the man, I won't act like one.
But what I'm saying
What
is
makes
like,
you the man?
money is
Because
fool's
your
gold.
check is
Money is fool's gold.
Money is energy.
money is fool's gold. Yes, money is energy. So I'm not gonna talk bad about it because you know.
No, hell no. I'm not talking bad about my money.
You know,
Right.
Money, I ain't talking bad about your money.
You just called it fool's
Double
gold.
up.
Now,
It is fool's gold, but I like my fool's
and I
gold.
like to
fool.
attract it.
But one day you could be making more money than me, and then you go to work the next day, and
Yeah,
be
you
like,
can lose your
and you can
job
lose your
now.
job. Now I'm the breadwinner. Now you going to are you gonna sit down and shut the
So-
fuck up, or you gonna have that same energy on some?
That's all I'm saying.
I was the breadwinner. I'm still running this road. No, you
That's
not.
that's the mindset for women here.
Thank you, Tangi. It's not a compliment to be hearing somebody tell you that you're a strong Black woman, that you made it through your struggle. You
Tangi
don't
from
wanna struggle.
Texas. Shout out to Tangi from Texas. Okay.
I hate
On
him.
some
Happy
real though, shout out
birthday.
Tangi. It's her birthday, y'all. It's Tangi's
Happy
birthday.
Happy birthday, Tangi.
It's an insult. We're going back to David. Shut up, Tangi's not from Texas.
What's up, Tangi from Texas?
Tangi from Tallahassee.
Happy birthday, Tangi from South Carolina. I'm
From
singing
Lindbergh.
them.
Tangi from Tuskegee.
Oh my God. Get his cup.
No, go ahead. I'm serious.
But go ahead.
At the end of the day, it's, you know what I'm saying, it's about the
We didn't have no
balance
choice but to
of
talk about it. I
energy,
agree.
and it's the teamwork of those energies working together as one. You know what I mean? Now I know a lot of us in our culture, we go to quote unquote Christians, right? And they get married, and a lot of us get divorced. But in those, you know what I'm saying, that ceremony, it says for better or worse.
Rich or poor.
Let's talk about that worse. How worse got to be for you just be like, I'm
But see, that's the thing. You took the vow at worst. It didn't say level worse at 1 or 10. It said better or worse.
All the money.
Took my words and all.
You keep saying our culture, and I want to be totally blunt on what I'm saying. You're saying African Americans, black people, okay, right? So what I'm saying is like, where did that disconnect come with relationships as well as music? What I'm saying is I can listen to something from the 70s, and I can know that this guy is really courting this woman. At what point? Because it happens simultaneously. It happens simultaneously, right?
Women can be mean, women can
Where
be
did
abusive, and women can manipulate. Sorry, hurt. When people sit back, sometimes we tend to not sit back, and we don't tend to sit and think about where that abuse and that meanness and that stuff comes from. She said, you can't be a breadwinner and be mean, abusive, and evil and manipulate. But sometimes, I'm gonna own this. I told you it's a panel full of masculine energy, right? And did. That's why I wore the shirt I said. Because reality is, one of the biggest things he said also is submission is control. Many times we don't realize that the woman can be the abusive, manipulative, evil one. It ain't just men. It's some things in life that the reason we really wanted David to come on, and the reason why David's conversation is so important today is because it's not a blame game. It's a own your shit and fix it situation. We tend to sit back and go, it's his fault, it's her fault, it's his fault, it's her fault. No, it's their misunderstanding. I don't like to hear the strong black woman because sometimes in them situations, I didn't want to be strong. I wanted to be able to lean on somebody, but you lived a life so much of people letting you down that you don't know how to receive or to lean, which is where the feminine and masculine come from. It's not a gender-based situation. It's a action-based situation. So when you break some of this stuff down, we're pointing fingers and yeah, we're laughing about it. But the reality is all of us have these habits. And all of us have learned these habits or these behaviors from certain situations. We do and don't know we do them because they've been trained into us so long. It's like a habit. You wake up and you do what you do.
Yeah, but it's not just the programming. The programming is one level to it. And that programming will also answer your question as well.
Which question?
About
music.
The shift in music. And how do I want to answer this?
And they told you to stop with the damn ice.
Who?
Everybody. Turk from Tallahassee.
So
Stacy from Seattle, Tamika from Main Street,
from Talladega.
So when you're talking about programming the subconscious mind, you get programmed through television, you get programmed through music. So when you said the shift and when it happened, right? Because we talked about on the level of program from parents, but you also get programmed from your environment. If I control the media, if I control the music, if I control what comes on TV, then I can shift to what people believe. Mm-hmm. So we talk about 90s. In the 90s, it was baggy clothes. But somewhere along the line now, it changed to tight clothes for men. You understand what I'm saying? What makes you shift with the trend? Why do a lot of us shift with the trend? Right? Is it that I made this conscious decision to shift with this trend? Or I shift with this trend because I was programmed into shifting in this trend?
Right.
And any person that's in marketing knows about this. Like, even like we talk about marketing, they set certain items in the grocery store on the right-hand side, the top items they want to sell on the right-hand side because they know 90% of the people that go to the grocery store go right-hand
side. Yeah. That's true.
You understand what I'm saying? So if I know this...
They put the candy by the register so the mothers could sit here and say, you nag me
or
all
the
the
Saturday
time.
morning cartoons. You know I'm watching those cartoons. Stop all this stuff in the
Or we
boxes.
talk about cartoons. You know, think about how many kids watch Dora Explorer and you know what I'm saying? You be like, how did my child know Spanish? Just watch Dora the whole time.
She's watching Dora.
You understand what I'm saying? So now, if I am a person who wants to control a certain group, once again, I'm trying to watch how I'm saying this, or control the people, period, right? I put certain programs on TV. I reinforce those programs through music because artists get shelved all the time because we used to have conscious music. You know what I mean? It wasn't just common. You know, I remember with Grand Poodle back in the day. You understand what I'm saying? Even Busta Rhymes used to be in the conscious sector of music, but we don't.
Lyrically, I don't want to be rhyming like common sense, but I did 5 mil, so I've been rhyming like common sense. He said it. He said it in the mid. Like, listen, I want to be saying this,
right.
but it's not bringing in the income and the status that I want. So now I'm gonna rap like this.
If I have a company and then my company says I'm going in a certain direction and you don't align with that direction, right?
You gotta go.
Your ideas can be fired. You can have the best product in the world, but it won't get released.
So Kanye's not crazy when he said F that.
No, crazy.
I mean, you brought it up.
Okay, but
Kanye
if
said
you look at it, I was shifted because most people are like, well, Kanye's not valid, but Dame Dash said it.
Dame Dash first to say it.
He was the first to say it.
But he got exiled because he was audacious enough to say it.
That's right. And and that's a rabbit hole because even if like you look at like things like Planned Parenthood, you know what I'm saying, and what the locations for abortion clinics were at, most abortion clinics were put in the hood.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, okay? After sitting here and gathering everything you said, how much of social media is pushing the agenda of?
It's a new programming method because that's what most people spend their time at.
Your pet peeve.
No, I'm just saying, honest, because what I'm saying is like you can watch Disney now. You can watch commercials. It's two dads with a kid. They're pushing a certain agenda. You understand what I'm saying? So my whole thing is like they push a certain agenda also with the male and female thing.
That's right.
They somewhat catapulted the female into this position of masculinity.
Like, yes, that's correct. They did put a lot of females. And now here's the thing: some females are not naturally masculine thinkers. Some females are feminine thinkers, but they've been forced into a masculine role. So now
that was a comment that came from one of the viewers. Is that we as women were made to step up.
Yeah, but in the same thing, the essence of the woman that was made to step up, the man was made to leave. That's a part of the argument they always forget.
That's all I'm saying. That's where the imbalance comes from. That's all I'm saying. That's the imbalance.
I wholeheartedly agree. And I say that because what we don't like to acknowledge, again, the reason why it was important for us to have David on today was it's not a finger point situation. Oh, men make us crazy. Oh, men make us miserable. Oh, her gets on my last nerve, right? That's a fact. That's not my opinion. But the reality is it's an understanding and it's a mindset of changing that needs to take place in it. They do make it easier for us. We get more. You can get $800 to $1,000, depending on your family size, from the government to feed your family. But you and that man together, depending on your bills, cannot provide $1,000 worth of food. And the situation is you get generations of people who won't get married because they don't want their stuff to change, who won't apply for certain jobs. But this is not a beat down for the system. It's a situation where when Black families, so during the time of Black Wall Street, they don't admit that Black families were thriving. We have not always been poor. Remember, the farms and things that we worked on as slaves, we built that. So when slavery ended and we went out in the fields and had to build our own houses, we built that. But you sit back and you think that we can
go over an hour tonight, brother. We can go over an hour tonight. It's okay.
Let me tell you, I don't mind. I can talk about this all night.
Because the reality is we think that we're passive or we think that we're slaves and we go through this mindset. But the issue is...
How about this? Here's a question for you. I asked it this way without me trying to get you to think outside the box, right?
You want me to think inside the box?
Okay, we can go outside.
Damn the box.
Okay. Slavery, right?
I wasn't there, so I can't really talk about it.
Right, but if there's an agenda, there's a controlled agenda, and we know that, for an example, people learn about slavery every Black History Month. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Could it be truth in all that story, or could it be gaps in the story?
I was guessing every one.
It's gaps in the story.
Okay.
It's gaps in every one of them.
Gaps in every one. So we do know about indentured servitude. And this is a challenge, and I will give book references. You can check out the books, look into it if you decide tonight, and it might even ruffle some people from a religious standpoint. And I don't mean to ruffle anybody's belief system. That's not why I'm going with this.
Talk that shit, Dave.
Slavery. You brought up slavery.
Talk that shit, Dave.
You know what I mean? And I would tell people you can check the Webster's dictionary. Like it is in there. Like the term Black is a legal term. You know what I mean? And that is not how we should be describing ourselves. Number one. All right. Number two, African American puts you in two different nations. So now you have no land that you attach to because you claim two different.
Talk that shit, Dave. Talk that shit, Dave.
You got to become what's the citizen? A sovereign citizen. You got to become a sovereign citizen so you can claim the land that you're owed to in this country right
3E Vision Boss.
Now, when we
Listen,
talk
I'm not stupid now.
Grandma, a lot of times don't have slavery stories, but with stories that great grandma or great grandma, if you decide to talk to those older people, they got Indian stories.
Because Indians didn't look like what they told us they did.
Okay. So that means they didn't look like what they told us they did,
Like
right? And once again, it's book reference. I'm gonna drop some book references. You can check it out. You can look into it. It just gives you a different perspective to look at things because you talked about slavery. So I'm gonna drop 3 books.
And all this comes back to the mental, how you act in relationships.
White Cargo.
Now, hold on, I don't want you to mention something and get canceled. You know, Kyrie mentioned a movie, and now the whole world want him dead.
I don't. Another book, the Negro Question Series, is a 6-part series, but book 6. And the reason why I'm mentioning book 6 is this is where it starts changing the perception of what took place.
Is that on Audible?
It's actually a book series.
But
you can go on YouTube, type it out,
Audible books.
Negro Question Series, and you can look for book 6 because there's reference in the book 6, but it talks about King James. And King James was, quote unquote, for a social term that we used to lose was black or melanin descent from Ireland.
That's us.
But ain't King James the one that tore out all the pages told us how to get rich?
The same King James that said that quote unquote, you know what I'm saying, had the people alter the Bible and all that stuff. But that's okay. Now, if that's the case, that means that it was somebody of melanin descent that was over the 13 colonies.
Yeah.
And the indentured servants that were coming over here as quote unquote the white cargo was the people that was exiled who didn't believe what he believed.
We going deep so y'all can understand why you act the way you act in relationships.
I want to go over their heads though.
I don't want to go over their heads.
I do.
No, it didn't go over my head, but I know some questions that people text. What I'm saying is,
I want to go over everybody's head. I want to come back and watch this episode 6 times so you can understand what the man was saying.
I suggested it, but today's people are attention span.
Here's the thing. I would say this. Last reference. In the Bible mentions maize. By definition, maize is corn. Where's corn indigenous from?
Schoolers, bro.
America. It's our land. We're from here.
They ain't got you thinking for Africa. They also think
they
got you thinking that black culture
told
started
you we
from
didn't
slavery.
land on Plymouth Rock. It landed on us.
I know. I understand that. I understood that. But what I'm saying is, they got you thinking that.
We'll get back in the relationship.
Right.
Black history.
So let's get back to the music of relationships.
Let's
The reality is, though, that we don't like to own is that all of this ties into relationships because even going back to what I said before we got here, that ties into trauma. And the reality is that a lot of the relationships that you saw growing up, that I saw growing up, that you saw growing up, all of us saw growing up, was that people were coming together for survival purposes. Not everybody looked up and saw a relationship that was, oh my God, they were so loving. No, they were surviving. And now we're in a season where survival is masculine or feminine, but feminine and masculine don't have genders anymore. Women can back in the day,
it's been depleted, but that's the problem.
70 years ago,
they never had. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand.
Hold on, they never had what now?
Masculine energy.
Never had gender roles.
Never had gender.
Not in real life.
Man and women had.
So man wasn't always protected.
Man and women had gender
in
roles,
life, though. In the world that we live in right now, in America.
Okay.
A man could make more money than a woman could.
So let's put it like this. Let's get off of man and woman. We're talking about masculine and feminine energy. What else is masculine energy, feminine energy represented? Electromagnetism. You learn about that in science.
You got your positive and your negative.
You got your positive and your negative. The electric is positive. The magnet is negative. The magnet is negative because the magnet attracts. That made you think negativity was something that was wrong, but negativity is the attractor.
Right. Because if you put a positive and a negative together, they attract. If you put positive, they. You did it with magnets before?
Oh, the nerd.
I know this.
I'm just saying you did it with a magnet. If you two positives and they don't connect.
But,
they want to know.
But like we were just talking about, just going back here, in the law of the land, not attraction. The reality was a man was built to be more powerful than a woman back then. Men could make more money than a woman could back then.
Are you talking?
He told you government assisted the women.
That's where the government came from.
The whole thing was it was a trap to sit here and demasculate the man for man.
Just like when they sent men to Vietnam, they pulled them out the house and sent them back in the attic.
What's the disconnect today, in your opinion? What I'm asking you is, I want to know the gritty of today because I appreciate the history.
On social media.
I I wanna
get
because
the history. I want to get back on relationship.
no, bro, because I'm with you on this, and we're gonna bring it back to the music thing like we always do, right? The music back then was talking about how much they love their woman, what I'm gonna do for you when I get them. However, they don't make that music today because if you do that today, like I went to work for 8 hours and when I came home, I washed, I rubbed your feet, I cooked your dinner. Nigga, you a simp.
Yeah,
I'm just saying that's what the
influence of music.
Who told y'all that we think a good man is a simp?
Y'all did.
And you had to say social media.
Social media did. We ain't
No, I'm serious. Like what I'm saying is this:
Or
a guy who works 40 hours, okay? Hold on. Let me get this off. A guy who works 40 hours, wash your car. No. A guy who works 40 hours, wash your car,
cut your
17,
grass.
He's a sucker because he doesn't have the appeal to the
Let him
guy
finish.
that's out at the club with the 2012 band.
He ain't buying the bottles. But hold on.
It's called priority.
But hold on.
No, I'm
If
telling
he
you.
does that,
Hold on. Let me tell you this. Statistics show that the marriage rate has decreased, right or wrong.
But the marriage ain't decreased because of a hard-working man.
No, listen what I'm saying.
Hold on.
You missed what I'm saying.
You
What I'm saying is it went from I still want to be with you to love and happiness to I'm a 90s girl to what the girl Godzilla said?
No, ain't nobody
fuck nigga free. Like Mom said she fuck nigga free. What's a fuck nigga?
Also,
You supposed to be looking for a man.
But so wait,
simp.
He's a simp.
Or fuck nigga's a simp. Or a simp was 2000.
Or he's a fucking munch. What is a munch?
Exactly.
People out there, tell me what a munch
It
is.
ain't no pleasing these women out here.
I gotta fight every night to prove my love.
Pleasing them. Hey, back when I was little, they worked 40, 50 hours, brought home the check, and she handled the bill.
He gave you the check and it was good.
You can't give the check.
You can't give it a check.
I don't know who schooled these fools.
Fools.
The school.
He's a professional.
He's telling you,
bro. He's telling you. You're in denial, woman.
It's more than a river in Egypt.
First of all, both of y'all better
let the
deflate
professor
your chest.
See right there.
His eyebrows is too high. We don't think.
That's what we saying.
I don't know where these women came from. That's what y'all get for following BBL.
How many women do you see taking pictures straight up, looking into the camera?
We don't think.
90% of the women today take pictures from the side. They gotta show that ass.
Save me.
That's what they got to offer, bro.
I'm very neutral.
You better save me. I hate them both.
Don't fry chicken no more.
It's all in the air fryer. You know how to use the oil.
All in the air fryer.
You know what Crisco is?
They can't make mashed potatoes. It's in the pan. It's in the
They
pan.
add milk and stir.
But they are bad.
But they are bad.
They got They got no one. They got no one. I don't want one. I want a goddamn bacon in there.
I want that what?
I want one. But I mean, right now, I need a bacon and egg sandwich.
After the walk.
First of all, a fuck nigga is not a man.
Gorilla, I know that's right. Let's go. Go ahead, baby. Let's go. I'm just saying that's what we come to for real, though.
First of all, I'm sick of all y'all, except for you, David. You fine because you're neutral.
No.
Because
you let him talk and shut up.
Hold on.
My objective with Love is to do is content, right, is solution based, not division based. Right? Because a lot of times we like to point the finger, and everybody has strengths and everybody has weaknesses.
Right.
Like that song you were saying, that's a weakness.
So once you identify in your relationships what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are, what do we typically do with our weaknesses? We like to hide them.
Try to hide them.
Right? So, but that's what's destroying the relationship.
I feel you.
Because now,
do you understand
if you're a leader, if you're strong in this area and I'm strong in a different area, right? You know what I'm saying? Our strengths could bring balance and prosperity to our home. If I allow you to display the strengths in the area you're strong in, and me display the areas that I'm strong in, because that's going to bring us.
Let her be her and you.
It's going to be.
But if
shut up,
it's going to be a beautiful
question.
No, your question is simple.
If I'm hiding from my fears or my weakness, then 9 times out of 10, an argument is going to happen, some type of division is going to happen, and we're not going to compliment each other, we're not going to work with each other, or we're going to insult each other. It's going to be some kind of conflict that's going to arise within the relationship.
Agreed.
Because we both got to feel we're up here.
Nah, but that's the thing.
I'm just saying, because you
walk away.
My thing is this.
I want to walk away because they it's a.
Walk away from what?
She said,
What you doing?
I work 40
What
hours.
you doing?
Work to the second degree.
You're
Change my
crazy.
own air filters in my car and take care of the house. Oh, and I can cook up a storm if I choose to.
She don't have a man.
Walk away.
Do you have a man?
She don't have a man. Does she have a man or a robot? Action. What's that? Who's that? Stacy
But
from
no, that's not nobody from Kansas.
St. Louis?
You allow you to do what?
Look,
David, save
I'm
me.
not going to all the things that
Save me.
Stacy
They're
mentioned,
bigger than me.
right? Are things that men don't care about.
He got talent.
You on your way.
Hey, that boy good.
That boy good.
One thing.
You should vote November 8th.
Told y'all
You vote for David
to
Richardson.
send me women to back me up because the reality is I don't know where they get the idea of where from, but that's not where we think.
Where your bucket?
We think that a man that is not worthy, that a fuckboy is somebody who is lazy, who is trifling. We don't look for somebody.
no,
in no
but you
damn
a doctor
club.
Okay, but here's the next thing. No, hold on, real quick. Here's the next thing.
Don't say nothing crazy.
And it's not gonna be crazy, but here's the thing: if a man is scrolling down social media, right, comes up on your page, like, damn, she's beautiful. He go looks at your fucking page on Instagram and likes 10 pictures. This nigga thirsty.
Yeah.
He can't admire your beauty.
Think.
Really?
No, but a lot of
Really?
guys-
Y'all not calling him a thirsty
Nah,
nigga?
nah, nah.
You not calling him thirsty?
No.
Yeah.
Man.
I got a friend. Let me tell you something. I got a friend that took another friend's phone and he was showing him a nice looking girl.
He gets friend zoned,
My
right?
friend strolled back 52 weeks and started liking pictures because he wanted him to look like a stalker.
What? But
You're right.
hold on. That's what I'm saying. So
He
he's
went
a
back to
fucking
the
because he knew.
Bro, it started liking pictures.
He knew that when a girl saw it, like, this nigga went back.
He's a stalker.
He's thirsty.
But my man had a crush on her too.
David,
It's a
But that's what I'm
test
saying.
Check
It's a
me.
test.
But what I'm saying is,
Check
he
me
knew
if
what
I'm
she
wrong.
was gonna think.
Check me if I'm wrong,
Right.
but women do
really
not
trying-
think that
I'm
way
really trying to bring balance in, 'cause
for
I'm gonna
a
go back to Stacey,
man
'cause
that
I
we
don't
want.
I don't want to make it with Stacy. I don't
Explain
want
that comment. Which one?
Stacy's from Saluda.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Shut. She's not from
She from Savannah.
I love you. What I'm saying is that the thing is,
I don't know who brought her out today, but she's on the back.
what I'm saying is that most
Her
men
is
who
showing
can't
his
value
ass.
don't care about those things, but I'm pretty sure that Stacy does things that men do care about. Man, typically we're gonna look at your image first.
That's the first thing we're gonna look at.
First thing. The second thing is
Let's not
No, women looking at teeth, nails.
No, what I'm saying is what attracts a man to a man, a woman to a man is the physical. We have to see what we like first before we find out what's going on in your head.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Let's just keep it
I
on
ain't
hand.
care about the physical, bro.
You're not
Your wife
looking
is
at a
beautiful.
woman. You're not gonna look at a woman in a club or bar, wherever you'll be like, she probably got a dope ass personality. Nigga, you
No.
looking at
I'm like, yo, she don't have a GHD.
A GHD. What
I
is
can
that?
talk to her. When you talk to her, you realize like, oh, she's.
but what I'm
you know,
saying,
articulate.
but you
that's how I
looked
know
at
my wife. I realize she got more
the
degrees
physical
than
though.
me.
You looked
Where
at
the
the
hell
physical
did
though.
she get a GHD?
You thought that was a beautiful woman.
but
You thought that was a beautiful woman.
You brought him out. You did this. You gave them one damn statement and they ran with it.
any masculine energy, if a person
You see
operating in
how much-
masculine energy,
What?
right? And I know we like to say masculine energy with man, but if a person's in their masculine energy zone, they like to be nurtured and they like to be supported. And of
Thank you.
course,
That's
sex.
all I ask for. I'm a simple man. And
of course, sex.
You-
We're not gonna get away from
I'm
that.
pretty
I don't know who the hell they
So,
entertaining. They crazy.
What I'm saying is that when I said
I
those
do
are
know who they entertaining.
when I'm saying that going back to
Beautiful, intelligent
Stacey,
women.
love you.
Dave's talking. He's talking with sense.
If you pop me one more time.
When I said that those things that men are not attractive, but this goes into what Hurt was mentioning before. She may have now been in a situation where now she has to go get.
She has to go get it. And I can we understand that all day long.
By herself until she gets into a situation where there's a significant other who brings something else to the table.
But see, that, and I'm agreeing
But she's
with
been
that.
so strong. My question is, and I'm not picking on you, Stacey, but you've been so strong by
Stacey
yourself for so
again?
long. No. That's who he was. Yeah, he was responding to
Stacey
her.
from St. Lucas.
He was responding to her. I'm just saying she's been in there for so long that when she finally does find a significant other, is she gonna be able to submit because she like, fuck that nigga, I've been doing it by myself. I don't need you.
Well, hold on. Okay.
Here we go.
But that's So it's possible, yes, because
Okay.
reprogramming is possible. Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So now, if let's say if I was learning how to ride a bike, in that process, I'm going to fall.
Right.
But I have to get back on that bike.
That's right.
So if I'm a masculine man, I attract a woman who is doing her own thing, and I come, right? That fall experience is going to be her bucking the system because she's learning to trust you.
Okay.
Because now she has to relinquish trust.
And that's hard.
Which is hard.
For man or woman.
And especially if we talk about the broken promises that Crystal was talking about before, because now I got to be vulnerable enough to trust you.
Oh, God.
So now the test comes is, okay, I want to be vulnerable. I really like this guy. He has the quote unquote money to be able to take care of us, but is he good with money?
Is he good with money? Is
He
he not
can
going?
have money, but he may not be good with money.
That's the
Second
biggest thing right
thing,
there.
he has a vision, but does he include me in his vision?
Oh, Jesus.
Ooh, that's the.
And that's a big
three-pointer
piece
right
of
there.
it, because a lot of people don't realize that for women, when we say security and protection, it's not always money and can you be the big security guard at the front door to protect me. It is a lot of feelings protection. It's do you include me, because there are a lot of things that come back in with us. We can be supportive. We can be so many different things, but we have to trust where you're asking us to be in position. You're asking me to trust you as a leader, but are you leading in a way that
No, I'm glad we're here. I'm glad we're here because on the opposite end of that, the man has tests too that is not talked about a lot.
That's true.
Speak on it, brother, please.
Are you supportive of this dream? Or do you tear my ass down because I'm not where you want me to be right now?
We talk about
hey,
no.
talking.
We talk about medieval time and modern day time. Talk about it.
Shut up. Just sit back.
You know what I'm saying?
400 years ago.
Are you
4 minutes
supportive?
ago.
Are you supportive? Because we talk about the vision, right? If I am going towards somewhere for my family and we're quote unquote building together, she's been a boss or whatever it is that she was. Because in this day and age, a lot of boss women want to
Generational curses.
be
a whole different
treated in a traditional way, which means that I have all my money and my finances. He takes all his money and his finances to take care of me, but I am putting all my money and finances in the bank and I'm blowing it.
That's that rainy day shit.
That's
not building as a corporation.
Way of thinking. Now, a person who says I'm in my masculine energy and I'm okay with you being a boss, right? I may be okay. I'm okay with paying what's the mortgage. I'm okay with taking care of these cars. I'm okay with taking care of these things, right? But if you're gonna be in your multiplier zone, who's my secretary? Is it you or we buying one?
Are we gonna? Yeah, because you got to pay when it means you buying it.
Okay, because no, because that's her original role as a supporter.
That's right.
You might not like the title,
but that's what you are.
But that is
that's
role.
The help that he
that
needs
is
at
the
this
help
moment.
me role.
That's right.
All CEOs help me is their secretary.
And were you allowed?
She got a nice office out front.
All right, now
the CEO has a nice office. I'm just
number two, right? Okay, if we're working together as a unit, I want to be able to see that, right, as a unit. So, are you filling the gaps? Are you seeing the areas on weekend? Because you want me to fill those gaps. Do you do the thing in return? If I'm having a bad day, are you bringing in nurture energy to make sure that I can get back up and go back out there tomorrow? And here's a caveat. If I'm using all my money to take care of us, can your money become our investment money? Are you a multiplier or are you a divider?
But
because if your money can't become our investment money,
what I'm saying is society.
you are a divider and you can't be here. Because I can do all this by myself.
So if your money is going to your hair and nails and all that shit, you're dividing us.
Right. It ain't coming back to our family.
To us, not me, to us.
But most women are building, they stand with these guys for the escape plan. That's what I'm saying. How are you all in when you build an escape plan, bro?
But no, not necessarily. Because so we talked about trusting and making sure that you believe in what the plan is because what this person came to you. You don't have to build an escape plan if you trust what you're building into.
Okay, so
I'm saying some brothers don't have plans. I agree, but the brothers that have plans, women that are making six figures, and this brother's making $60,000 a year.
For a brother that has plans,
it's very common. It's very prevalent in our community.
Hold on, ask that question again.
How common is it to come across?
It's very prevalent in our community, in our world.
All right, so let's say it's not common though. But when you find that one that has that plan,
too little, too late. You brought my 1 to 20.
You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is an energy balance, right? and there's going to be behaviors from those energies. But at the end of the day, how do these two energies come together and complement one another? Because there's a famous phrase that was said out there. That's too funny. Love is law, right? And family is business.
Love is law and family is business. Ooh.
I agree.
Yes, sir.
And if we're
Yes,
not
sir.
investing in this family unit,
To become this business that's gonna
we're
make this
not
money.
investing in our business. And we see it all over in the major places, the major players that's successful.
You made me understand that one
McDonald's is a family's name. Now, it might have been taken away from the original family, but it is a family
He took it, and
name.
and that's why he took it, because of the name.
The Waltons own Sam's and Walmart. That is a family name. Love is law. Family is business, and that is what we got away from.
You
Say it
made
again.
Those two examples that
Love
you
is
just
law
gave.
and family is business.
You gave a very good conversation when you talked about the computers, and we broke that down earlier. A lot of times we don't, like you said about the Chiefs and the Indians, a lot of people want to lead, but nobody wants to own
Everybody
their
want to be
role.
the chief. Nobody want to be Indian.
But the conversation for sports is what I took it as. If you are because I asked you, if you are a doer, which is a woman doer, if you are a masculine energy woman,
Okay.
and you are with an alpha male, how does that
Two
work?
doers. That's
It's two doers together.
Two doers, all right?
And you made a valid point about women being managers
Mhm.
and that man still being a CEO. And I took it to sports. And I said, it's like it being a man who you are the coach,
You're the coach.
but you get a star athlete.
And-
You don't have to coach as hard because you got a good athlete on your team, and it makes a difference. Because I asked you, could two doers work?
They can, if they get past the conflict. If they get past the two masculine energies clashing against each other, can they work? Yes, but they have to make sure they understand that, hey, let's say there's some feminine things that's missing and nurturing and supporting, right? I always tell people, either you have a skill, you develop the skill, or you buy the skill.
Oh, shit.
Now, I agree with that. But Stacy from Sumter
Yeah, you gotta post that comment.
She says she does not want to support a 45-year-old rapper.
Nah, you know what, Stacey? I
It's
no,
going to
no.
trash, and I agree with you.
No, yeah, I must say I agree with you 100%.
No,
on
listen,
that.
because rappers are almost like, well, it really is a young man
I agree with
sport.
you on that.
You're
It's a
not
young
on
man's
about
sport.
28.
But what you doing in
No.
life? Stop talking to them.
I don't
What you
support
doing in life?
Stacey
That
from
your ass
Sumter.
sitting here damn near
I agree
50.
with you.
I know Stacy because Stacy is family. Why
You know
dating
Stacy
a
from Seattle.
Shut up. Why are you dating a 50-year-old rapper?
Hold on. Pause.
I got a question. Why are you sitting here looking for Sir Mix-a-Lot? It is 2022.
She
Stacey
just
boy-
said she
hey,
don't support it. She's not looking for a
Stacey
45.
Her
boyfriend got
ex-husband was a Marine.
127 mixtapes.
A Marine and a rapper is two different things.
I know.
Pause.
He got mixtapes.
Go ahead, David.
I'm not
Okay.
gonna knock this man's dream if he
At 45, you knock him.
Hey,
After why if you're not a rapper, become a producer? I'm not mad at that.
He might shift. He may still do something.
no, you
Should
need to
shift. No, you
shift.
should shift.
You need to shift at this point.
Listen,
My
fellas,
nigga.
hold on,
My
fellas.
nigga.
No, let me make this clear.
And y'all stop telling your friends that shit is hot when it's not hot.
Nothing turns a woman off quicker than her reaching for her wallet or reaching for a rapper. Go ahead, David.
Especially if you over 35.
Now think about that TikTok when that man talking about, and though I won't ever give you up.
That should be a meme.
That should be a meme.
That should be a meme.
But he's telling the truth. Stacey, I agree with you
It
110.
goes back to
110.
speaking about a plan. If that man's plan includes him being the greatest rapper of all time, then he's 56, walk away.
No. Nobody's gonna be
Pause.
the greatest rapper of all
Go to
time.
David.
Pause.
Stop talking.
I am-
56.
I
David
will
talking
knock
this
no man's dream because I understand the process of breaking dreams.
You're not gonna buy that mixtape either.
No, hold on.
Tell the truth. You're not gonna
No,
knock
no.
a dream.
Hold on, Dave. Hold on.
Let me get it out.
Hold on before you finish though. Before you finish.
Tell you about a
It's
mixtape.
a time.
About a mixtape.
It's a time and a place. It's a time and a place for your dream though.
It is.
I'm gonna be 40. I'm gonna be 40 in February. If I come out tomorrow and tell niggas, yeah, I'm
Shout
gonna
out
do
to
this
the
rap.
turning 40.
I'm gonna be a rapper. Niggas gonna be looking like, bro, let that go. Like, bruh.
But then it
Hold
depends.
up.
It's
Listen.
possible though.
You gonna rap at your 40th? Like, I'm not coming.
Exactly my point.
No, I
Exactly
love you.
my point.
I'll meet you the night
Nigga,
before.
at 40,
I'll meet you an hour before.
you let that go.
But I won't be there.
But that's
Nigga, you got 2 kids. You talking about a rap career?
That's perspective, though.
Bro, stop it.
I
Stop
be
it.
happy at 40.
Ex-
But what I'm saying is,
Unless you've been in it since you was younger.
you know, but what I'm saying is that I can't tell man what vision to have. He should have a vision direction. It is a female's job, what Stacey said, is whether or not she's going to align with that vision
I
or
agree.
direction.
So-
I agree.
So I'm not going to knock his dream.
Some
If he
women.
want to do it, that's on him.
So how many women are
But
following
she
the
don't
dream?
have to follow
You
the
How
Shit on
many
your
women are
birthday.
following the dream for the
I'm
love
looking for
of,
two
and
strong
how many
people to
women
make
are
that.
following the dream for the lust of?
That's what I
Vice versa.
support.
But
Okay.
that's what I'm.
Because there's a lot of people locked up in the
Because
infatuation.
there's
What
people that's
you can
faking
do.
it. There's
Yeah,
people
yeah,
that's
yeah.
faking it
What I'm saying is, there's
relationship.
a lot of people in love with your Facebook profile,
That's true.
opposed to the person.
Infatuation with social media. You say social media?
Social
No,
media
because social
runs the
media
world.
it is. It's
like you don't run the
you
world
see
right now.
Zuckerberg told me he wants $20 a month. Watch how many people start using Twitter. So what I'm saying is like it has an influence.
It does.
I'm about to say Elon Musk or Zuckerberg.
Zuckerberg for Facebook. He was right on Facebook.
They both. I don't know.
No, you was right. You was right.
Ain't like it was in a crystal.
Right. It's,
I don't hang out with
it was 2 billion in niggas.
Which one with the white shirt? Let's talk.
That's from MySpace.
I know. Listen, but no, it plays a big role in that. Like
Find you.
what?
It was Tom.
Which one?
You don't remember Tom? You went for the Tom?
On Facebook.
Tom gave you your
He was in
top.
my top 8.
No. Tom gave you your top 5.
Tom was my.
Then he gave you your top 10.
He was in my top 8.
He gave you top 15.
He's in my top
He gave
8.
you top 20. He realized it ain't no please these motherfuckers. Because remember my space when you have somebody in top 20 and you drop somebody off, you be like, it's a tough one. But you started today. You started
But
today.
how about Tom was always in my top 10
Tom
because
was always
nigga, you
Tom
gave me
was
the
a
platform.
plug.
You gave me the platform.
ran off from the plug twice.
You let me change my background every week.
Same shirt. Was he surprised all the time?
Nope. I'm here.
That's the white shirt.
Tom was right here.
I warned you.
Tom never inboxed
I
me.
So-
warned you.
Was
but-
it even inboxed then?
No,
No, it was on your page.
it was on your page.
Oh.
Everybody saw your comment. Everybody saw your
Hold
comment.
up, everybody out there. I will give you no. I'm sorry, I can't own this. CTS will give you $100 if you can tell us the pass.
No,
code.
nigga, you
if
own
you
that.
if you can log into your MySpace
Oh, let me get
right
that.
now,
Let me get that 100 right now. Let me get that 100.
you're part of CTS. $50 if you can log into MySpace. You know yours, David.
I don't know.
He's out. Listen, you not only could probably win the lottery for $1 billion tonight.
I'm gonna win the lottery.
You can win the gas card.
You can win that gas card, which is just like $1 billion at this
You can
point.
win the EBT card.
Oh my
But on the
God.
conversation though, because you know the topic is love and music, love and happiness.
I don't forget
The
about
music has changed, like you said, because of social media.
That's
Oh my
right.
People
God.
are singing about different things, relationships, because the nigga back then was doing more. I'm not gonna say he's doing more than he's supposed to, but he was doing a lot. And the nigga, if he's doing that today, he's a simp.
He was courting her
He's
back in the
not
day.
a simp.
Yes.
You can
No,
give me the
of course
sign.
it's
All right,
a
so
No,
Crystal,
hold on.
in your view, he's not a simp. But you ask any, like I'm telling you right
So,
now, I'm
you
telling you
can-
right now,
And nowadays, from a man point of view, right?
I hate this.
it was
Okay,
a
I'm
conversation
gonna
we're
give
supposed
you
to
a
have.
quote. I give you a quote. I saw it the other day on social media.
I need cuddles.
Facebook.
I do too much.
You know, Zuckerberg with Meta. Saw it
On the meta.
it registered with me. It says, don't chase money. Do things that money chase. Now, how does that deal with relationships?
Laws of
right?
attraction.
You know what I'm saying? Don't chase women. Do things that women chase.
I mean, 50 said that shit a long time ago though.
but when you chase the women, she will always run.
You all, bro, you can make
They tell us to
You-
run. They say y'all are predators. Not they say predators. They say y'all are hunters.
hunters. So when we hunt, you run.
He
right?
said,
But when I don't hunt,
Right.
then you become
but
the
you
hunter.
can lose money chasing women.
And
You'll
you know what?
never lose women chasing money.
That's right. That's true.
Okay, now
Y'all about to lose me in
Here's-
this
here's-
conversation.
It's the what we're saying
and
is,
then I'm gonna go back to this hunter.
and
thing.
social
I
media has
probably
put this
should
shit on the
drop- I
front
probably
foot.
probably shouldn't even drop this, Drew, but I'm gonna drop it.
No, drop it.
What you mean? What?
Definitely
Hold
gonna,
on, I'm about to find a clue bomb right quick. 'Cause I'm
definitely gonna drop this, Drew. Most men think that they bagged the woman, but the woman sent choosing signals to allow herself to be bagged.
No. Let me elaborate on that. What he's saying is,
Ended.
hold on. Let me tell you what he's saying. Let me tell you what he's saying on that.
I gotta do one to
For
20.
those who are confused, guys, you really don't have game. This woman knows whether she's gonna give you whatever.
She chose you when you walked in. You didn't choose her.
Only thing you can do is speed it up,
Right.
Slow it down.
or delete it.
Okay.
So when you at that bar,
Fellas,
that
she
woman has
chose
checked you
you
from the door.
when you walked in.
She's looked at your teeth. She's looked at your nails. She's looked at your shoes. And she want to see what type of charisma you hold in this room.
And she didn't
Now,
see if you wearing
come over
Jordans.
there thinking that you got a Lexus key. I'm sorry, Lexus key.
Alexis Key.
Don't
The Range Rover
have-
key.
The Range Rover key, slapping yourself in the face. She's not turned on by that. You can even turn her off by that. But she wants to give it to you. That's why she said, "Hey, how you doing?"
And
And sip your drink.
And she gave you eye contact. She didn't say shit. She gave you the eye contact and turned away.
And if this is not her first time seeing you, she scouted you out.
She's already seen you.
Listen.
She knew next time I see him somewhere.
To debunk the myth, I will tell the truth.
Ain't no debunking. We already know.
The reality is,
That's cold
we
That's for
choose men way before we even knew you thought
Listen,
about us.
the truth of the matter is, men fuck who they can, women fuck who they want.
That's very true.
You should write Hallmark cards.
I'm gonna keep it 100. It don't matter how much it doesn't matter how smooth you are, how much money you have.
Listen
This
to
is the
him.
Hey,
problem that I'm gonna have to deal
Men
with.
fuck who they can, women fuck who they want.
It's a
Say it, bro.
I'm just gonna keep it 100.
No,
So-
I don't know what you did over the weekend, but it's working.
I can't to Benedict homecoming and all that.
Shouts out
kind
to
of
Benedict 9-0 BC. You know,
you know.
homecoming was off the chain. On another note, Columbia,
But we
the
gonna keep it
local
100.
came in.
Like, let's keep it real. The ugliest girl in the club
Shout out to Benedict.
can pick a dude and be like, you know what, I'll do whatever you want me to do and go home with it. A man can't walk up to a bitch and say that.
But
I mean, a woman. My
Now-
fault.
now,
ladies. My
okay.
fault. I had to catch myself.
Yeah, you might not get
I
sponsored.
know we talk, so now we're talking about attraction. We were a little before the relationship
They
happened.
done jump from attraction to loss,
Okay,
division to love.
but if
It's all physics.
it's all definitely because man, I don't want to.
Go there. Stop trying to hold back. Go there.
What are you holding back for? Like,
Go there.
We on cable, bro. They got us on the fire sticking off.
We are not censored, brother.
We got an app on the fire.
Go there.
It's a nice
So,
conversation.
So there's
What's
a
it-
part of the female's brain.
Shout out to Mr. Mika Washington.
There's a
November
part
8th, vote
of
for
the
her.
female's brain who is in survival mode, and she's automatically attracted to an alpha's presence.
Oh yes.
So I tell men, if you want to be chosen, get your confidence up, my brother. You gotta believe in yourself before she even show up.
And fellas, it don't take
That
the
is true.
keys and the clothes and
You
the
don't-
shoes.
you don't-
It takes personality and confidence, bro. I
That's
promise.
it.
And some people don't have no personality; they just have confidence.
But that's the
That's
problem.
why they got.
That's what he's saying. You got
keys.
you got to
and all that.
readjust yourself to get a
Listen,
personality.
I don't.
listen. A woman loves security, bro.
Now that is a
That's,
fact.
that's because you got
In the
sometimes.
physical, the mental, and the spiritual. Okay, I'm not talking about like just because you big,
You
Tell the
you
truth.
should have been the
Yeah.
You should have been the coach.
not because you're big,
You should be
you're
the
spirit.
coach.
But if your woman here, if your woman
That's the
here's
post.
a noise,
That's it.
and y'all in bed at 2:13 in the morning, if
2:13,
she goes
not
down there to
2:14.
check and see what that noise is, you
won't
just
be-
lost that one.
You won't be there. long.
Okay?
No.
If this woman says, "I don't know what we're gonna do," and you say, "I don't know what we're gonna do either," you just lost that one.
Her five.
What I'm saying is like, I don't give a shit what you got to do. If you don't have a plan, you go in the bathroom and you get out a piece of toilet tissue paper and you draw a plan. But you come out of that bathroom, that woman's
If it's
wrong
a
with
plan,
Now,
you.
now,
If you
now,
don't have
now,
a plan, that woman's gone.
Now I will also say that. Oh man, we're gonna go there tonight.
But talk your shit, man. You got dreads. I lost my head.
You know what
we
I'm
might
saying?
have shit there.
But
Talk
now
behind the scenes on
understand,
this. We an hour and a half in.
I'm just talking about what happens
We
when
are.
we talk about this confident energy. If this man holds his confident energy long enough, the woman can know she has another woman and she will still choose his ass.
And she'll
Oh,
still
shit,
no. He's 100% correct.
With girls?
No.
That's
What he's
facts.
saying is, no, that's 100%
What do you say?
correct.
What do you say?
If
He
I'm
said-
a high value man and you know I got a lady, I still will be chosen by other women knowing that I got a lady. So I always ask women, why do y'all be tripping, quote unquote, talking about man cheating? The only time women get mad at a man cheating, right?
Just when he broke. Just when he
Not
broke.
when he broke. It's rich niggas we get tripping, but they treat.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
When she feels undervalued and no security.
Well,
Undervalue no security.
It's facts.
Fuck
That
his
ain't
money.
got
Like
nothing
you're
to do with
right.
money.
You're absolutely
So
correct. No, he's right.
She will,
Because if she feels this man's gonna protect me and he still values me like he was being, I'm sorry, I don't want to hear this
Some
shit.
women ain't
Stop.
looking for protection. Some women looking for a good time.
No, bro. No.
That's-
All women look for protection.
I agree with that.
I
But I'm
was
talking
really
about
protected,
like the women that are not like they're
There's
secure in
none.
their finances. It's some women that secure in their finances.
So,
Think that's all it is.
What I'm
I'm-
saying,
What's in this bottle?
No.
What is wrong with
And I hear what you're saying,
what
bro.
I'm saying is-
But they're all looking for security, whether it be physical, mental, spiritual. They're all looking for security.
but it's
But it depends on what security you provide for them.
okay. So now we're going to the personality types, right? We're going to talk about
I'm
this.
making him go to bed in 10 minutes.
It's 8:30. No, we not.
You going night night.
I do
It's too
too.
funny. So you got 4 different personality types, and all 4 has a different fear.
Leos.
You in that damn ice.
You know what I'm saying?
It's over now.
And once you can tap into what her fear is, now I know where to protect her at.
See,
If you
That's-
can tap into what she's lacking, now
What
I
she
can
misses,
know what I can provide.
which can be financial. She feels she's not going money. Like, baby, don't worry about the money. I got that. You just take care of
But
this
this
house,
just sounds
and you're
like
gonna
a
be good.
world of manipulation.
No.
And see, Crystal, that's the problem.
Compliment. Because you
That's
say
not
reverse
manipulation.
for the same. For the
Because
women.
it's a 50-50 thing.
We're talking
No, they
about
don't like the
compliment.
50-50 thing, Art.
I was trying to break it back.
I mean, but they don't like the 50-50 thing, bro.
But I agree.
They don't like the 50-50.
Give me your damn ice bucket. You're getting on my nerves.
I
There's
guess
no
what
ice in the bucket.
Good.
right.
That's what you get.
I try my best to remain neutral.
Mr. Richardson.
Yes, sir.
You can't
Mr.
remain
Richardson.
neutral. They're putting you on their team.
Because
You
he's a
and I
man.
were friends before
He's
you
recruited.
He's a goddamn man.
He's the smartest guy in the
Mr.
city.
Richardson.
You better talk good.
So you're a
Smartest
man
guy.
of you said your age earlier. I'm gonna put it back out there.
42.
I don't care.
Really, Crystal? Damn,
Yeah,
I said I wasn't gonna do that. You gonna just put them out there like
I
that?
mean, y'all are
Anyways.
classmates.
Back on the music, going back to the music shit, because you know we're a music
I
podcast.
don't think they're friends.
What music do you think everybody should be listening to right now when it comes on relationships?
Gospel.
Relationships?
Gospel.
Your sis said gospel.
You know Ray Charles took gospel with R&B. I got a woman.
I'm gonna give you $50.
So what I'm
if you can
saying-
name me 5 R&B groups, all male, right now.
Today,
Today.
new ones or just period?
Period.
5.
Hold on, period.
I can't wait. We're
go
going to
back
get
and
Hold on, listen.
I'm about to say, kill that.
I will give you a
Kill
bag of
that.
Doritos.
No. You said $50 and we
And
gonna
a
see.
2 for 2
right now.
and Wild Wings in the Vista.
No.
You said today or
On
period?
Tuesdays, if you can tell me 5 R&B groups.
Because I give you, I guess,
No, I said groups.
I guess I give you 5. I give you 5.
You can't give me
After saying
I give you.
No, today.
today. Okay, because
That's what I said. I asked you today. You said period.
He asked. You said
You
period.
said period.
Not period.
You
Today.
Today.
Ain't 5 today. You know it ain't.
That's my point. Why would I bet? I bet you $100.
But I asked that though.
If you got
I try to define the terms.
I don't have.
Kevin saying it was just a reality.
what happened to love, bro?
So-
I'm serious.
I don't.
You said
So
$50.
it died with Drew Hill. It died with Drew Hill and Jagged Edge, with Jodeci, with Soul For Real.
112.
With 112?
That's not food.
But I wouldn't even go. After 7 was a little bit before that. But what I'm saying is,
I was just naming you
No,
something.
no, I'm just saying,
Edition.
them 5 out this name kept it going. After them,
Who said something?
You said 50. We want 50 because that's food. He just told you 5 people.
no, he
I
clarified.
said
He
right
clarified
now
it.
today.
But what I'm saying is
I got
today,
it recorded.
She told me Meat Mills.
you know what the best song right now
Meat
is?
Mills got
You know what the best song
R&B
right now is? It's by Jacquees. You know I wanna fuck. Like that's the song that's out.
No, I don't know that song. Keep going, bro. Let me see if I can pull it up.
You tried to-
Say it again.
You tried it.
No, I want
You
Google
tried
it
it.
up.
No.
I don't know why you started. And you
No,
let him do it.
Come on,
And
hey,
you
yo.
egged them on.
Come on.
And not
Yo.
you egged them
Hold
on.
on, hey, in a truck drop. You know I want to fuck. Like, that's not attractive, bro. Who seen that?
Exactly.
Who seen
It's
that?
not attractive.
Who seen that? Though? Say it again for me.
No, I got you.
I want to fuck.
How you doing, Herbie?
Oh, she said I don't even like bald head dudes, but I fuck with that one right there though.
It's your fault.
You gotta post them in the comments.
Oh,
Everybody want this shit to be seen.
I want to.
So
You're a truck driver from
I
Utah.
don't have a music genre that I could suggest right now from an R&B rap standpoint to be like, yo, this is what you should listen
Everybody
to
get their love.
for relationships.
Followers.
Because the only thing I hear in all these songs is trauma.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I might even lose my
Drug intake.
I might use my black card for this.
No, you won't. You on the black show, brother.
But I don't even listen to our music like that as much as I
Whoa,
used to.
brother, you just lost your black card right here on that show.
Straight up.
Why? Because it's like, hold on, I want to point out something. Like, we want to sit here and say, R.I.P. to the Migos member. Take off to like what's going on. Like, it's too much killings in our community, in our culture, and in our music. Like, we don't have to be that. Like, we really need to take a step back to take a step forward. Like, it's really coming a detriment to our community because we have so much influence on our culture and our kids and our youth. And it sounds cliche, but now that I'm older, I understand that our kids are the future. So, like,
I believe the children of the future.
we can just take a minute to just like reflect on what Takeoff brought to the table and what he could have brought to the table. Like, to the next one up, like, let's not forget that. Like, let's put the guns down and just put the towns to the forefront. Sorry,
I can dig that.
I can dig it on
I can get into this. I mean, but
go back to my music question. You answer my music question.
Yeah, I don't.
You can't answer no questions.
You don't have a group?
No, because right now.
So what you pulled up playing?
Huh?
He's asking 4 questions, bro.
He said he couldn't answer that one. So I'm answering another one. You pulled up playing something smooth. I know you did.
I'm making him go to bed in 2 minutes.
What was the question again? Let me make sure I heard it right.
Say, what did you pull up playing? I know you pulled up playing something smooth.
Oh man, actually, nah, man. What I was listening to wasn't music. What I pulled up to was a book called "Feeling Is the Secret."
See what I'm saying? That's smooth shit.
You know, and the book talks about how to manifest. You know what I'm saying? And kind of what we're talking about here tonight, but we're just doing it from a relationship perspective.
All right.
Listen, y'all.
Yeah, I listen to a lot of white people music, man. R&B, like.
I don't want you to say that.
I used to listen to all black, all rap. Grew up on like.
You better not sing it either. Don't you start singing.
I
understand everything too, but he said most.
But nowadays, no. Just.
But why? So I want you to like. What made you make that?
Because
tonight the music feels so loud. I wish that we could lose this crowd. Maybe it's better this way. Could have been so good together. We could have lived this dance forever. Who's gonna dance with me?
But a lot of their music now sounds like our old R&B music. A lot of their music now sounds like our old R&B.
That's because
of course, we gave them New Edition. They had New Kids on the Block. That's what I'm saying.
So what I'm saying is that
you talking about nostalgia, then?
I'm taking
right
applications.
So you're caught up in nostalgia for the modern times.
Yes.
What I'm saying is like for the modern times right now, there's nobody who could make you feel nostalgic about how you felt.
There's no song that plays as a man I listen to, but like, yo, I'm gonna go home and make love to my woman right now.
What's the last song you had to repeat?
Damn. No,
that's real.
That's a real last statement.
I'm talking about from 1990 to 2000. What's the last song you had to repeat that puts you in the mood to satisfy your significant other?
I mean, now when we say tape, I mean, I would fuck with tape, but tape old music.
It doesn't matter, bro.
Okay.
I'm saying like something you can repeat that always got you happy and her happy simultaneously.
Well, happy, no, it was because the song was raunchy, but you know.
If you do what you do, we don't need the music. Go ahead.
Because I always talk about you got to give a woman 3 things. And
Spring.
Tell her the 3, bro. Tell the camera and tell her the 3.
You gotta give her sex and tell them what sex means.
You gotta do it with your tongue out.
Hold on.
Shut up.
Do it with your tongue out.
Shut up.
They like that.
You have to give her sex, but what I mean by sex is the S is security, the E is entertainment, and the X is X-rated pleasure.
Deeper than a straight.
Y'all didn't know what sex stood for until tonight, and CTS brought that to you.
Hold on, he said what did
he did. You shut up.
I did shut up, but
he said S stands for security.
See in there here. He heard one time.
Entertainment.
And X stands for X-rated pleasure.
X-rated pleasure.
And X-rated pleasure. That's what sex stands for.
Gotta learn to listen.
Now for a man, I would say you gotta be an RN. RNs.
A registered nurse.
Yeah, registered nurses. Respect, nurturing, and sex.
Brought to you by David Richardson.
She said, did you read that, bro?
No.
Now that's Stacy from
Hold on.
Yeah.
She's from South Bronx. Stacy from South Bronx. Could you address that? Stacy is
woman. What happened?
Yours is
Yours, mine, ours. I can do this for hours. First of all, nobody goes for hours, but carry on.
Okay.
It's a thing called a
honey pack.
No,
So
you cannot handle
Tell
that.
us if you
Get
get
that
that
honey pack.
Don't go to the Arab store. I heard.
Order the real
So
one.
hold on. Stacey said I only had one woman in my life.
She said, yeah. She said she's a virgin, bro. Till you got on the show.
You know what? I'll take that as a compliment, Stacey. Thank you.
Tell us why.
The man who I was in the past compared to who I am right now.
And we discussed earlier before the show.
Straight up.
Bars.
I only got all this knowledge
Bars.
because of who I was from the past.
Doing all the
Bars, Stacey.
doing all the fucked up shit.
Y'all don't pay Stacey no attention.
Let me tell
Stacey
you.
man from the past.
And
My uncle.
this is
Stop.
Stacey from St.
I want
Matthews.
you to
Tune in.
understand. I want you guys to understand this because Stacey now because what happens is this is the masculine thing. So you attack my ego, so now I gotta come back. Let me tell you something, Stacey. You know what I mean? There is not a woman.
Camera's right there, bro.
There's not a woman
Tell him.
out there I could not pull back of my head.
Gotta understand it.
He got dreads too. He got dreads. And this coming from a bald guy. He got dreads too.
That is a fact.
It's not my opinion. That's not my
I
ego.
told y'all to bring
That
This
was
is
a
what I know.
fact. It was a fact.
I told y'all to
Or
bring.
water liquor. He's been drinking water.
This man been drinking water.
He's completely sober, Stacey. What are you doing?
What are you doing? What you doing?
I've been neutral all day. I've been neutral all day.
Until now.
And here it goes.
We want advice though, bro. We want advice. We want advice for the women that's out in the club every weekend looking for a man. We want the advice for the man that's in the club every weekend looking for a woman. We want
Okay, thank you for bringing me back. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it.
I said send help.
Oh, God, that's just.
What are you talking about?
I said in the beginning, send help. He came out here and said, "Let me check y'all." Ain't a bitch I can't pull. Then you come in, high-fiving him with your social media conversation. Then you come in
Stacey
with
for
your amen corner.
Listen,
It has been almost a 2-hour show.
I promise y'all we're gonna have a part 2 to this one because this shit was good as fuck.
We are going home. You're going home, and I hope.
I never want to dance again.
I never even got
Guilty feelings got no rhythm. I know you're not a fool. The worst chance that I've been given, so I'm never gonna dance again the way I dance with you.
I'm gonna tell y'all something.
Oh.
David, the next time you come, bring food so I can make sure both of them quiet. We are absolutely, without the shadow of a doubt, going to have a part 2 because these fools were on.
No,
one
we had to
tonight.
have a part 2 because Mr. Richardson dropped jewels and dimes all night.
Did y'all listen?
Man,
And we listened, and the thing about it
What
was,
is it gonna
hold
make
on. And the thing about it was,
See, you
as
got
much
this
as
one.
we wanted to be biased, the man was not biased.
He was not.
He told us from the male perspective and the female perspective. He wasn't trying to be just all male shit. He kept it 100
I'ma
on
bring a
both
woman
sides.
next time.
So part 2, we're gonna have a counterpart. Because
No,
clearly,
part 2, we gotta have a female.
that's what I'm saying. We got a
We don't want
counterpart to
to feel as if
David
we're
to
left
Mr.
out.
Richardson.
I feel
I didn't even call him David. Mr. Richardson dropped so many fucking jewels tonight.
Mr. Richardson.
See, fucking hater.
She seems a bit biased.
You feel the
I don't want
Did
to
you
see
feel that in
bias,
the chest?
but high five to the guys. One nothing.
Let me get that.
Listen, we want a female who think.
Stacy.
Yeah, we want Stacey.
We want Stacy.
We want Stacey from St. Lucia. Okay. Stacey from St. What is she from St. South Bronx? Listen,
She's from Savannah. Stacy from Savannah.
Stacey from. We had a Stacey from something.
We had
A Stacey from Savannah.
St.
Stacey from
Lucia.
South Bronx. Stacey from Seattle.
St. Mary's.
I will give you one of the longest closings in the whole world, and I will tell you all the amazing things. I'm so sick of it tonight. David, I want to thank you so
Stacey
much.
from 18
David,
hours
appreciate
away.
you, sir.
I want you to let
Appreciate you,
us,
sir.
We're going to bring David back before
Stacey from
Valentine's
Saxon
Day.
Homes. Tune in.
David, let me know when you want to come back. You are always welcome to the CTS table. I'm sick of both of these Negroes right now. This one right here feel like he empowered. This one right here feel like he got an
Hold
amen
on.
corner.
Where's she pointing a thumb? America.
Here.
Oh, both. Okay, boys.
So I used to have a, my wonder twin. We are apparently now triplets because they done sang the day like they was crazy.
We are in sync.
Oh, Jesus.
Tonight the music sings so loud. I wish that we could lose this crowd. Maybe it's better this way. We hurt each other with the things we want to say. We could have been so good together. We could have had this dance forever. Now who's
I can't hit that note.
dance with me? Please don't go. 'Cause I'm never gonna dance again. Guilty feet and got no rhythm.
This is what y'all should be doing.
We gonna see y'all. We gonna see y'all next Wednesday.
Do you have
Love y'all.
Sing to these women, man. Sing to these women, man.
I'm so sick of both of them.
That's another part that's missing. Men don't sing to women no more.
Shut up. David, go ahead. Shut up.
David, I'm sorry. Tell about the entrepreneur side of you. Yeah, another 10 minutes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, another 10 minutes.
Yes, we got a food truck.
Hold that, bro.
I do got a food truck. It's called Dirty V. It's like vegan fast food. We do burgers, sausages, chicken sandwiches, collard green egg rolls. However, I do make accommodations.
Collard green egg rolls. Wow.
Yeah,
Shut up.
they smack.
Shit, next time you come here, you got to bring them.
They smack. And I got the best burger in the city. I don't give a damn what meat burger you
Hold
want.
up. Look at the camera. Talk your shit, man.
I got the best burger in the city. You know, like I don't care where you get your burger beef from, and it's vegan. But I will make accommodations. So if somebody asks me to pull a food truck up, and they say, "Hey, you know what? Not everybody's here. Vegan. Can you make substitutes?" Yes, I will. I will bring beef burgers, beef sausages, quarter pounder hot dogs, etc. But when I do that, everything's separate. The beef products versus the vegan products, they have their own separate fats. They got their own separate grills, so nothing ever, cross-contaminates.
Cross-contaminates. That's good shit.
Coaching. So, like, a lot of people don't know I am a life coach, / relationship coach, right?
If they didn't know, they know tonight.
I do a lot of coaching
No.
in private. So, this is like kind of my return to come back out to the public. That's why I wanted to actually come.
And we appreciate you coming, brother.
Because I've been in the private side of coaching for a while. So, like, some of your coaches out there, I probably coach.
It's a minimum.
Or, I get some high ticket people that come and actually, taking this advice to be able to, help them with their relationships or reach their actual goals. But, that's kind of what I'm doing right now. And, motivational speaking. I can go on and on.
Because we can laugh and joke and make our comments all day long. But one thing I will say I appreciate is I told you when you were coming in and we discussed relationships that based off my life, I said that the next world I enter in was going to be a permanent one. But I was going to change my way of thinking prior to entering to that because sometimes we are set in our ways. And the definition of insanity is trying the same thing and expecting a different result. And the reality is you do have to open up to think different. So although we laughed and we joked, and God knows they sang, the reality of it is we do hope that it did not leave a closed-minded taste in everyone's mouth. It does make you think because many of us do communicate with the idea that we don't listen to understand, we listen to respond, and it's not healthy. We do not sit back and address the issues we had coming into a relationship. We blame the relationship, and the reality is some of that stuff comes beforehand. And then above all, we do not work with each other to make sure we complement and we fix what we have going on. We blame and we run, and we feel like the only person that's right is us. At some point, we do have to make a shift and a change because we come from a generation of people who stayed together for survival purposes. And in this world that we're in, we're supposed to be together for thriving purposes, but because of the economy
and social media,
survival may come back. And the reality of it is we have to teach our kids generational habits that are going to make them successful because the world that we're going into is very different from the world that we came from. And if we do not teach these new generation better habits, we're not going to get the shift or the change that we're asking for. So above all of the jokes and the laughing that you took from tonight, we do ask that everyone take a realistic view of themselves, a realistic view of their relationships, and then sit down. If you don't ever want to do anything else, ask your children what they learned from you. Children give you the most unbiased reality. A child will tell you, I learned that y'all fight all the time. I learned that you argue all the time. I learned that she's mean to my daddy. My daddy don't like my mama. They don't kiss. They don't hug. You are their first representation of a relationship. Teach them a healthy one. Sometimes healthy is not necessarily biological, even though that's the great direction to go in. Sometimes you do life changes, but you can still teach them a healthy relationship if you yourself do the work on yourself and make sure you find a partner that complements you and you build a healthy example. Many of us are the way we are because we did not have healthy examples. So again, we laughed, we joked, and we cut up. But the reality of it is, sit back and look at your situation, your relationship, your actions, because the Serenity Prayer says control the things that we can. And the one things that you can control is you. Are you healthy? Are you engaged in healthy activities? David's gonna close us out. We gonna hush.
You already closed us out.
And we going to bed. No, because I triggered something in my heart. Take a deep breath.
Yeah, because
you make me
so
tired.
Two things. In my Lovers Endures course, when we talk about relationships, it's really about a relationship with you first, right? And then the significant other second. One of the questions I asked in the Lovers Endures course is, do you attract the same type of person? Like the body may change, but the energy is the same over and over and over again. And then I put out a post today, kind of inspired because I knew I was coming here. But I said this, so I want to say this out loud to everybody, man. You cannot criticize the thing that you want and expect it to come. You can't say man ain't shit, but expect a good man to come. You can't say all women are hoes and expect a good woman. It doesn't work like that. That's your actual belief. So based on your personal belief system internally, you're getting all ain't shit man over and over and over again. You gotta change who you are inside first, and you can start to attract what you want. So you gotta change your thinking first.
I go back and say the definition of insanity is to think that you can do the same thing and get a different result, and that is a reality. I don't care if you've been married 10 years, 5 years, 50, or 100. If you do not fix the way you think, you're not going to fix the way the generations after us have been. And at this point, we are not surviving, we are thriving. Right. And if you do not focus on how to thrive properly, then the same generational curses that plagued your family in the beginning will plague your family as we go forth. I'm going to bed.
Oh, let me say one thing.
I am sick of you.
No, we better close it up tonight. Tonight the music seems too loud. I wish that we could lose this crowd. Maybe it's better this way. We hurt each other with the things we want to say. We could have been so good together. We could have had this dance forever. Now who's gonna dance with me? Please don't go. And I'm never gonna dance again. Guilty feet ain't got no rhythm.
This is your fault. All they needed was a goddamn cosigner. Here you come in with your good relationship credit and they ain't acting right.
This is the dopest shit in 2022, man.
And the shit came out in 86.
Who raised y'all?